Disclaimer, I do not dislike CinemaSins, and that is not a lie. For my next Everything Wrong with CinemaSins video, I'm going to be sharing the video on the Little Mermaid, and I would like to give thanks to Occasion to Surprise Gaming for requesting this video. Enjoy the video, everybody. Okay, I know it's been a year since you've seen this movie, but why did you upload this after the live-action remake was released? I asked this because in the past you've seen movies like Mulan and Aladdin before their live-action remakes came out, so what gives?
Can we talk about the security on the Disney castle for a second?
Nope.
King Triton?
Why, ruler of the mer people, lad.
Wasting no time getting into the poop exposition, I see.
Well, yeah, since the movie needs to give us context on mer people and Atlantica.
Venus castles.
Jimmy makes an inappropriate comment cliche.
Also, if you're building a castle underwater, isn't the best bet to build it downward into the seafloor? Better camouflage, better protected. I'm just saying vagina castles are better down where it's wetter. Take it from me.
Yet another inappropriate joke, but before I add another 100 sins, I'd like to have Jessica Lovejoy ask you this.
Do you ever think anything you don't say?
Using the greatest power of the sea to light a fucking chandelier.
Pointing things out on the screen.
Imagine deciding to make one merman wear a bow tie like a goddamn Chippendale.
But you can also see a mermaid wearing a necklace here, so I don't think that makes the merman stand out.
Using wind instruments in a setting where you cannot generate any wind. Okay, I'm done. Otherwise, this will just turn into me yelling at SpongeBob for not understanding the physics of hydrology. And we already have TV sins for that.
Nope, you're not done with that in any animated movie, since you've admitted that this kind of stuff is fictional, but you still always question it.
Okay, not done. What the kind of voodoo magic allows you to control bubbles to open like a curtain that you don't even need because the bubbles are see-through anyway?
Exactly what I said in the previous sin, so even if you don't suspend your disbelief, I feel like you probably should, Jer.
You're not getting cold fins now, are you?
Fish are already cold, so how would this saying be interpreted to mean anything other than you're not getting normal now, are you?
Well, I interpret that as you're not getting scared now, are you? And I think that's what Ariel meant by that.
I'm all for f***ing up the kids with a nice shark scare, but can we try to keep it realistic?
Nope.
Consider just for a moment that Flounder, a fish, gets stuck in this porthole, but Ariel, a grown humanoid being, gets through easily. Yet their heads are the same size, and I'm guessing Ariel's skull is a bit less flexible than Flounder's body. And that's before we even start talking about Ariel's hips. So here's the thing about Ariel's hips.
Well, you cut yourself off there, so what is it you have to say about Ariel's hips, Jer?
Thank you, Scuttle!
Does Scuttle live here? Do they just know he will be at this exact rock at this exact time every day? And if he lives or hangs out directly over the boat they were exploring, why hadn't they explored it before today?
The second part of your sin is agreed with, but for the first part, it does seem to be established that that rock is where Scuttle lives.
Teenagers.
So, CinemaSins just makes the ding sound here, and I assume that it's to fit with their kids gag, but regardless, I don't see how it's a sin.
Someone to watch over her, to keep her out of trouble.
All the time.
And you are just the crab to do it.
That's right. To show you care about your child, monitor her 24/7 with a tiny creature that can barely keep up with her at all.
You spelled Triton's name wrong on these two captions. It's with an O, not an A.
Though I can't play the song, I'm absolutely sinning the lyrics for rhyming the girl who has everything with she's got everything.
Sinning this amazing and classic song. That's worth these many sins.
Glorifying hoarding.
Well, that's the point, since Ariel collects human objects because of her fascination with their world and what they make.
I've never seen a human this close before.
And I've never seen a human give so much to a recorder performance in my life.
Jimmy sins himself cliche.
He's very handsome, isn't he?
And there it is, the moment this movie goes from a woman pursuing her voice and independence to a woman pursuing a dreamy dude. Princess got a prince, I guess.
Well, even though Ariel is now in love with Eric, she is still pursuing independence and she's always wanted to be a part of the human world.
Conveniently timed musical framing wave is convenient.
No. Sinning this iconic scene for literally any reason.
The stories of Ursula's Garden of Poor Unfortunate Souls is a Disney prequel just waiting to be foisted upon us. And I've been foisted upon too much already.
Doesn't seem like that'll be the case since the direct-to-video sequels/prequels ended back in 2008 with The Little Mermaid Ariel's beginning.
You know what? I'm sinning that these clams make the noise of a steel drum. As a kid, that made me think the shells did this right there on the beach. I slapped those fuckers so hard, expecting a goddamn symphony, and all I got was a clunking noise and the mumbles of nearby adults who judged me.
Well, that's not a sin of the movie, that's a sin for you, so I'll be giving this my award.
What kind of seahorse has flowers on its head and hangs out bird in the ground?
Aha, I found a typo. Used its instead of its here.
Have you noticed she's been acting peculiar lately?
No, but I did notice that the animators gave you nipples, which I salute. But it brings up the question, do mermaids breastfeed? And if so, do they have to find shell bras that have latches?
Firstly, that's not relevant to the story here, and secondly, that wouldn't be appropriate to show in an animated family movie.
Why, Eric? Run away with you? This is all so sudden.
Is it ironic that a movie set underwater makes me want to continuously dry heave?
Jimmy sins himself cliche.
Can I get a bit of explanation for Flotsam and Jetsam's magic seeing eye eel trick? Apparently one of each of their eyes is used to combine an image for Ursula's Palantir bubble. But how did that happen? Did Ursula design it that way? Were they born twins with the special power that Ursula discovered?
Well, it's magic, and I think that should be the only answer you need, Jer.
The sea witch?
A better name for the lobster roll somehow makes it into the script.
Jeremy says something random cliche.
Pat Carroll is now singing Poor Unfortunate Souls. That's it. That's the sin removal.
Okay, I appreciate the sin removal, but I'm curious why you removed a sin for this song but not for Part of Your World and Under the Sea.
It's amazing how in every movie where a magical villain needs to exposit their plans, that one of their abilities is always to produce some sort of advanced PowerPoint presentation.
So then what was the point of that sin removal?
You'll remain human permanently.
But will she run with her arm bent back like noodles? I mean, Ariel is being a dumbass, but does the poor girl realize that arms aren't supposed to look like that when you run?
No, that doesn't happen, and this is just supposed to be Ursula's way of presenting this to Ariel.
Oh, fair! The merperson that has only had toes for 12 seconds can move them all independently.
Well, life isn't always fair, and also I don't see how that was a sin.
Ariel sure did go from wobble legs, how do I stand, to run and climb with confidence pretty fast, huh?
Not exactly, because when she later walks with Eric to his castle, she is shown to still be struggling a little bit with walking.
You seem very familiar.
Oh, come on! Eric's been doing nothing but talking about her rescuing him this entire time. How does he not know it's her?
Because he was half awake when he saw Ariel, and what Eric knows most about her is her voice, which was why Ursula asked her for it. And because Ariel is currently unable to speak, that's why Eric thinks she wasn't the one who saved him from drowning.
You can't speak? Oh, then you couldn't be who I thought.
Yeah, because in this universe, no one can have laryngitis.
But shouldn't that have debunked the previous sin, since Ariel's voice is what Eric knew about her, and her muteness makes him think wrong here?
Goes up in rags and doesn't speak.
Les Poissons survived this.
Your yellow captions are wrong here, Jer. What that girl said was, shows up in rags and doesn't speak. So between this and the Across the Spider-Verse video, I'm starting to agree with your guess here, Randy Tomias.
Les poissons.
I know you love it, but this really is just a discount Be Our Guest, huh? And no, I don't care which came first. Disney regurgitates themselves so much, they've probably broken the space-time continuum by now anyway.
Well, yeah, this movie came out before Beauty and the Beast, so this song isn't a replica of Be Our Guest.
This movie is only 80 minutes long, so understand the gravity of what I'm saying here. Movie has time for this.
Which is ironic coming from the guy who says things in his videos that are irrelevant to the movies and only exist to pad the runtime.
Aw, look at Ariel falling asleep after her long day of adjusting to the alarming difference in gravity and atmospheric pressure on her physical form. For someone with barely any experience above sea and no experience with legs, she's impressively maneuvering through aches and atrophy.
Yeah, so?
What have I done? What have I done?
Let's not focus on what you did do, but what you aren't doing. Going after your daughter with the powers of the f***ing sea!
Wait, you spelled Triton's name right here, so how did you spell it wrong twice earlier?
Has he kissed her yet?
Not yet.
The Office.
Jeremy says something random cliche.
He's playing the recorder again? Are we sure Eric passed the 4th grade?
Probably yes.
I gotta get to the Sea King. He must know about this.
You mean the Sea King who's just moping on his throne instead of realizing both you and Ariel have been missing and putting 2 and 2 together and setting out a search party for you? That Sea King?
But he did, because the seahorse previously said to Triton, "We've searched everywhere. We've found no trace of your daughter or Sebastian."
Move it! Let's go! We got an emergency here!
The movie posits that the entirety of the animal kingdom speaks the same language and will band together without hesitation or explanation for a common cause, and I'm unconvinced.
Well, if that's what the movie's showing you, then that's what it's showing you.
Ursula goes full Godzilla here and has everything under control, but decides to stir up all the sunken ships because this movie has no other way left to defeat her other than random chance.
And also because of her overconfidence, which, like Captain Bear said, is the main flaw villains have that makes them lose in the end.
A boat that shouldn't float uses wood that shouldn't hone to kill a magical god that shouldn't be able to be injured.
But this is what happened in the film, so what's the point of this sin?
Also murder.
Well, what choice did Eric have? Ursula was about to kill Ariel and there were boats floating around him, so what he did was the best option.
I'm not sure how Eric got from the sea to the land so quickly without being rescued this time, but here we are.
See Sin 466.
Then I guess there's just one problem left.
Patriarchal misogyny and the subjugation of women disguised as true love? No?
No, what he says is how much I'm going to miss her.
Oh, shut the f*** up. Triton can't make a f***ing rainbow too. Jesus.
Hang on, you spelled Triton's name wrong again here, so how did you spell it correctly earlier and then make the same spelling mistake again? And here's the end result, everybody. The sin total is 472, and the sentence will be turned into a polyp. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have a nice day.